Welcome to the Ignorance is Strength podcast. I'm your host, Fabian motherfucking Ojeda, and I don't know shit, but that's okay. All right, let's get this shit started. Thank you everybody for listening to the Ignorance is Strength podcast. Hope you all enjoyed episode number 46, musical guest La Sancha. We're back today with, I guess, we could have La Sancha and El Sancho right here. We got returning, recurring guests, friends of the podcast, Roy and Astro Monica. How you guys doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Roy, how's it going, man? It's been a while since you've been on.
I know, right? I'm also doing very well as well. Thank you. Just been trying to stay busy. Oh, well, but that's the story of my life.
how's Vegas looking right now, man? Are you guys opening up at all? Because we're still
actually a lot of places are open, it's, for example, there are a lot of bars that are open. They have a cap on capacity. Let's see also, when it comes down to, for example, restaurants, you cannot sit more than 4 to a table, but most casinos, almost every casino is open. Let's just say, for example, I'm talking about the local ones. Obviously the strip are open. But the local ones, they're mostly open, except for maybe a few other local casinos. But for the most part, yeah, they're open. They just require that you obviously mask up. They have like a temperature gauge, all that stuff going.
So if Astro Monica and I decide to come down and record the podcast with you in the next couple months, then the party's not on the strip yet. It's at your house.
Oh, you know it. And by the way, I got a pool there, so we can make it a pool podcast.
Oh, all right then. Well, now speaking of the party, both of you were all the way back on episode number 18, the singles panel, right? I know it was a long time ago, right? But what did you guys think of that one? From when you were first on? I think, Roy, it wasn't your first appearance on the podcast; it was your second. But Monica was your first. What did you guys think about that? Have you listened back to it? Is it kind of funny, embarrassing? Would you have said something differently?
So for me on my end, I had several people listen to that specific episode. And it's so funny because they tell me like, oh, we didn't know you were single. And I'm like, yeah, it's been over like almost a year, But yeah, definitely, I feel like from there to now, I definitely have changed my perspective on, dating right now, because I see that a lot of guys that I have been dating, it's more of like, give me your attention. And it's like, no, I can't give you all my attention because I have other priorities as well.
Well, it doesn't sound like you changed your mind too much, though, because on the podcast, I remember you saying, you were kind of just looking for some fun and between the sheets type of thing. And we were going to get Roy some textbooks so he could learn. Did you get those books, Roy?
Actually, they're still in order from Amazon. They're so popular, they're on back order.
But I mean, he's getting there, right?
Hey, you know what? Every now and then I look up a video just to get some tips, because it's been a while. So I was going to make sure, there no new techniques have been invented,
But that one was fun, right, Roy? I mean, you told some funny stories there. I mean, what was your thoughts on that? I think that was it the last time you were on?
I think no. The last time I was on was a teacher's panel.
Yeah. But how did you enjoy the singles panel?
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. What can I say? I just want to finding out, like I mentioned earlier, I just want to make sure that I don't go too much, because I'm like, do I really sound like that? But no, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Like, what can I say? I think all in all, you should have another singles panel.
I think so. Yeah. Maybe y'all can host it for me or something. At
least for the stories.
Well,
yes, I have stories.
and getting to that, if anything at all, the singles panel actually led to an interesting question here that I have on social media, right? So I put up each of your mugs on Instagram, and I put the podcast was responsible for getting one of these recurring guests laid. Who got some? And I put a little glasses faced Roy there, and a Astro Monica with the bangs. And who do we think the audience thought was getting it on?
I'm gonna say Roy, but I don't know.
I'm gonna say Monica mainly because nothing. All I'm gonna say is because if you really think about it, odds are women have a better chance than a guy on average.
Okay. Now, I think Roy, you and I figured out it's pretty much going to be they're going to vote for her, right? Guys don't want to give other guys any credit or anything like that.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I regret to inform you that you did not have too many people that were that put any faith in you there, Roy.
I'm not surprised. Story of my life.
Wow. Then I hopefully nobody thinks that I'm like a whore or
remember like.
No, which because think about it. Sometimes there's people that say, wow, they listen to the podcast and they're probably like, well, she just wants to fuck around. But it's like, yes and no, but whatever. I care less what people think at this point, It's
right.
If I'm interested, go ahead.
By what percentage did Astro Monica win this poll?
Is 110% a thing there? I say better than 90.
Better than 90?
I say by 80.
It's still live right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, if you haven't voted,
I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote for myself.
Dang it. Well, you actually, Ro, you were at 24%.
Oh, wow.
So you did have a few.
Okay.
What was my percentage? I want to know.
You're currently at 76%.
Wow.
So 76% pretty much confirmed what we already know there. And I'm gonna put emphasis on ass for Astro Monica. I mean we'll keep it confidential as much as possible. Is there anything you want to share when it comes to this news?
Me?
Yeah, because the podcast did you a favor.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just more my personality. That's what it is. Because I'm very honest about stuff, I just think, I mean, I'm just surprised that it got me there. Because I mean, well, kudos to to myself. I give myself props for that. No, I'm just kidding. I give Fabian props for that.
Hey, if we never accomplish anything ever again, we at least we're able to do that, right?
Yes.
So that there's the prize right there. So get on the podcast. We may get you a little romp in the hay there.
Now we're looking for someone in Las Vegas, to do a little favor for us to hook up Roy over here.
Right. Well, I'll say this much though. If you really think about it, though, it doesn't hurt that fact that Monica is very beautiful and great personality.
I just dyed my hair, so I'm now a half red hair over here.
And there you go. So of course, how are people not going to vote for her?
Well,
you should see my DMs.
All right, they're blowing up.
I'm like, wow. I'm like,
the podcast is kind of turning into like Jerry Springer here. We had the OnlyFans episode and everything, and now this. I mean, I think what do we got to do next? We got to like auction somebody off. We'll see when we get there, or have like a ghetto fight on right on the podcast.
Hey,
like
after the 3 years that I finished this agreement that I came upon. I mean, we'll start talking.
You be like, bitch, you took my man.
But you did a great job because I am happy without him.
Well, I mean, on the after hearing these results, we want to check in with our boy Roy here and see what's going on in the old the old astrology department there, right?
Yes.
And so prepared a little something for. Not his full birth chart, right? But you're gonna give us a little insight.
Somewhat, yeah. So I did look at his chart, and I was looking at something very interesting, because so Roy,
Yes.
I have something really sad to tell you.
Oh.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me brace myself. Let me get another drink.
Are you sure? You ready? Ready for this news?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So according to your birth chart, your moon is in a sign of Pisces.
Okay.
And that means you're in fantasy land on your feelings.
Actually, you're not. That's you're not wrong.
Yeah. So, so when you have your moon sign on whatever position it is, it's usually the way you have your emotions or how you react towards your emotions or your actions are. If you were to have, let's say, for example, your moon were to be in Taurus, I think Vivian's moon is in Taurus. It's more of like stubborn about your feelings. Like you wouldn't want to let your feelings out because you wouldn't want anyone to like mock you that you're feeling weak or that you're being thrown down, and you want to be like, no, I'm gonna be stubborn. I'm not gonna say about it. See, Vivian's nodding. He's like, yep, that's true. That's true. So yeah, when your moon is in Pisces, it's more of like your emotions. You play scenarios about your emotions. Like you don't want, you think your emotions like, oh well, you know, you when you're sad, you have like your sad emotions are playing in that fantasy world, and you're just like makes you even more depressed because you're like, why is this happening to me? You know, but that's that's what your moon sign is. So you're a Pisces and moon.
Okay.
So right now we're in the sign of Pisces. So a lot of us right now will be in fantasy land. We'll be trying to search our soul purpose, trying to make sure that, you know, what we really want for ourselves to actually, you know, happen. Your sun and your rising are in Gemini. We were just talking about that too, where you said that you have plans. You always have a backup plan. So it's always like you have plan A, plan B, plan C, because you don't want to be running out of plans because you feel like if you have a backup plan that you're secure that your first plan will work out.
Yeah.
So am I
Essentially,
wrong?
yes. No. You're definitely right. For and I'll give you, if I may, like a real quick example.
Mhm.
So I moved out here like around, let's just say August of 2017, right?
Okay.
So when I moved out here, before just as I moved out here, I still had a couple backup plans, right? So I'll give you a quick. Back then, there was an organization that is now defunct called YPI.
Yeah, actually, you know, Monica worked for them too, right?
Oh, okay.
Please don't talk about my company like that because I feel very offended. Okay.
Oh no! Actually, and if baby, no, I know, but I'm just saying, baby could go ahead and attest to this. I was actually at one point considering getting on my chest a YPI for life tattoo. Well, was I or was I not?
Yeah, and I think you would have done it too.
I would have done it as well. And because this is what's gonna, it's because when I moved out here, before I moved out here, I'm sorry, I actually filled out a couple applications to be what was the position called? Site supervisor, site coordinator?
Site coordinator.
Site coordinator, right?
Mhm.
And so then I was out here for about 2 or 3 weeks at that point, and I got a call saying, "Hey, do you want to come? Are you able to come in next week to apply for? I mean, for a North Hollywood position as SC?" And I was thinking like, "Oh man, one of my backups came through, but Plan A is already in full effect." So I was like, "I'm not gonna go to one of my backups because I'm already in full effect for Plan A." So long and short of it, I was like, "No, sorry, blah blah blah." I told them exactly what happened. They're like, "All right, cool, whatever." You know. Interesting enough, though, I was like, "Man, they kind of whoever I was on the phone with seemed like she took it a little bit personal." Because she was like, "Well, we have been busy. Okay, bye." I'm like, "Whoa, relax. What's up with the attitude?" But that's a whole other story. But yeah, going back to the whole point, yeah, you're definitely right. Whenever I do something, I always make sure I have multiple backup plans.
I kind of want to touch on the whole, you know, living in fantasy land. Do you what do you think about that, Roy? Is that accurate for the most part, or you deny that wholeheartedly?
Now, what I want to know is actually now I want to know is like what she means by fantasy land, because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to my emotions, I try to live in fantasy land, but in my interpretation of a fantasy land, I try and just kill off all my emotions. I do not like feeling certain, emotions, for example, of sadness.
I've got a story, but keep going.
Okay, like for example, I don't like feeling emotions of sadness. I just like being happy, and if like anything that makes me feel like not happy, I'm like, you know what? Nope, I don't want to deal with it, and I try and kill off my emotions on that sense. So when I hear living in fantasy land, you know what? Yeah, I prefer to be happy. I prefer to always look at things on the bright. So that's my interpretation of living in fantasy land.
Kind of the Michael Scott world from The Office, but
essentially in a nutshell.
I have a quick story, Roy, and I'm not going to mention any names, but you're going to remember this because it was about the time that you were going to leave for Vegas, right? Now, you had met a certain young lady who became quickly enamored with, right?
Yes.
And you were kind of in Fantasyland with that. And
yes, I was.
You thinking like you even verbally out loud said, if there's anything that would make me stay in California, it would be her. Was that accurate?
Yeah, no, that is very accurate.
Now, do you think that would have been feasible? Would that have been like the right move?
Oh, not at all. I mean, let's be real here. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, it was. I was enamored. Yeah, and and at the end of the day, there's no way she would ever really be interested in me in any way, shape, or form within that sense. So long and short of it, yeah. I mean, and I even had, what do you call it? That realization, like, you know what? Yeah, it's just all fantasy. I'm just checking out.
No, and that's not to pick on you, Roy. I just wanted to prove.
Oh, no. But it's an apt example.
I wanted to prove the brujeria right for
oh yeah,
because it has come kind of rung true in a few different areas for me too. So go on, Astro Monica.
So then you have your Mercury and your Venus in Cancer. So you communicate more like a Cancer. Meaning you're very. It's kind of weird because. I mean, I used to date a Cancer once, but I don't really know how he communicates. He actually know when he communicates, he puts his feelings towards his communication. That's what it is. There's time, like, I don't know about you because I don't know how you feel when you communicate about certain stuff. Is there times that you put your emotions first and then you're kind of just like, oh, wait, let me grab my emotions first before I start speaking about something? Because I'm pretty sure what you do in your passion, you put all your feelings and your goals towards it because that's what you want, right? So as a Cancer, you're pretty much saying like, this is what I want and this is what I'm gonna get, Then again, I don't know how you work because I just know you from the podcast,
Yes.
Venus is a way how you love. So you love like a Cancer, meaning, which is a water sign. You guys have like that very lovingly passionate love. You get me? Like you love hard. I don't know. Do you love hard?
So here's the thing. Yes and no. And this is what I mean. Okay, so if let's just say I find someone that my heart's there, I'm a go full force. And sometimes I go a little bit too hard where I'll get caught up in the moment and potentially maybe scare someone away, but I've been able to try and tone it down. So, and sometimes I've toned it down too much.
They lose interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I'm still trying to figure out the balance.
So now your Venus is in Cancer. So look at Cancer signs. Look how they love and how they manage the way to love someone. Because that can help you out too on your zodiac sign. Because going back to one of the podcasts, I did mention on there that it's not just your sun sign, which is your birthday when you were born. You get your zodiac sign. You have to base it off your rising, your moon, and your Venus, because that's the way. Those are the three ones that kind of connect with you because it's your emotions. It's your rising, which is how people look at you, and then your sun sign, which is a basic you, and then Venus, which is the way how you love. So that's what I'm saying. Like, look into Cancer, see what elements click off with Cancer, and then how Cancers act when they're in love and how Cancers should act in a relationship. I mean, it's not like should, but how they act in a relationship. And you could kind of get a sense from that.
So if I may ask really quickly, how would someone like me that is just very scratching on the surface familiarized with this stuff, right? Be able to find out more about this stuff. Like, for example, you're saying, look into how Cancers, blah, 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 right? I don't mean blah, blah, blah in a disrespectful way, just the way I sometimes summarize things. Sorry. Long and short of it is, how would I go ahead and do that?
You just look up your sign, like just go on YouTube. Ever heard of YouTube? YouTube.com.
I heard about it the other day.
You just write, Cancer zodiac sign, and then you just listen to what they say, or just read on. Yeah. And then usually they tell you, like, this is how, Cancer is like for this month. Because like I said, it's not just one, it's off of three, because one sometimes you can't resonate with that, but because you have so many zodiacs in your chart, you have to resonate with other ones that actually you're like, oh yeah, that's so true. Like for me, my moon and my rising is in Libra. So I have a hard time saying no to. And then my sun and my Venus is in Taurus. So I can be very stubborn when it comes to, certain things, but I am also very lovable and very patient. And I can tell you that because you can ask all my ex-boyfriends. I'm very fucking patient with them. And then when I dump their ass, I kill them mentally. And I'm like, you no longer exist.
I don't know. It might not be worth it there, Roy.
I don't know. Wait a minute. She did say she's very lovable and patient, which bodes well for me.
Did you just say you don't say no?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because see,
never mind. It's back on, Roy.
Okay. Well, actually, if I may, the fact that she says she's lovable and patient, right, bodes well for me. And the fact that she doesn't say no, well, if I want her ever when I say, hey, would you like to go out sometime? I actually have a better than average shot. Now, but if she does say no, that's just gonna decimate my self-esteem. No pressure there.
Damn.
You see the can of worms you opened up here? Now, is there any other like? What?
See, this is why I'm gonna start doing these birth chart readings. Because people look at me and they're like, I'm like, no, don't go there. Don't go there.
Is there anything else in the birth chart that is like, relationship related, romance related, or can we move on from that?
Yeah, just one more. Aries. I mean, Mars, because that's the way how you handle your frustration, your anger. So you pretty much handle yourself as an Aries. So you blow up when you're frustrated.
Oh yeah.
You lose control because you're just like, what is going on? And that can also go within your relationships, because you feel like when things don't go your way, you get really frustrated about it. So like look into the sign Aries, look into how they blow up, how they manage to control their anger, because that's definitely something. And I know because my kid's an Aries, and when she blows up, she's like, like, I'm like, okay, I'll give you your space, take some time. There's a cup of coffee over there. You want to have some, But yeah, so that's probably in your relationships, when you get something like you get really frustrated, you blow up and you can't hold it back.
Huh.
Okay.
Is that true, Roy? I have never seen angry dead Roy. Huh.
I know, right? It takes a lot for me to get there, but I'll tell you this much. So it is to a degree, because when I was at Dominguez Hills, right, I was in an art class and I was getting really frustrated with a project that I was given, right? And I'm always happy-go-lucky as much as I can, right? Mm-hmm. So when I got so frustrated, I just slammed down my art project. I went outside, called up my friend. I was like, my phone is not working, my internet's not working right now for whatever reason. Call me back in about 10 minutes. Let me know. Look up Dominguez Hills drop dates. Am I still able to get a W for this class? I need to know, because I was it's right around the midway point. Mm-hmm. But the way I got frustrated and got slammed everything down, my classmates around me got freaked out. Like, whoa, what is going on here? Like, we've never seen them like that. They actually got scared. Like, whoa, what is up? So, but then of course I didn't drop the class, because first of all, they talked me into staying, Secondly, my friend called me up and said like, yo, it's too late. You cannot drop with that W. So I was like, okay, I must stay. Interesting. On the side note, I actually wound up getting a B+ in that class. So it benefited me that I stayed. But that's another story. The point is that I can't get frustrated and blow up.
Huh. Well, I mean, I hope not to see that Roy, because I only know the happy-go-lucky Roy that you described.
And that's the one I prefer to stay in.
All right.
Yeah, because Angry Roy is like, nobody want to see that. I can tell you that right now.
That's how they would call him, Red Roy. Yeah. I think that fits. You know.
That is Padrastro?
Oh no, that's your drinking character.
Yeah.
Have you heard of his alter ego?
No.
El Padrastro.
That's his name. That's his other name.
When he becomes a Mexican luchador, that's his character.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
I mean, no woman can resist, and no child can, for that matter, too. Right? Their children, if they do resist, what do they get?
5 across the eye. And just for the record, before anybody out there in podcast land starts tripping out, that's an old reference to Al Bundy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It used to be acceptable in the 90s, all right?
Yeah.
He's not over there beating children. This is all for entertainment. Kiss my ass, PC world. Right?
Yeah, nowadays, it takes somebody that, takes it the wrong way out in podcast land. And next thing you know, they're like, wait a minute, who is this Roy? Like, abusing all these fictional children out there.
Yeah, let's not cancel Roy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and real quick, I mean, I know this is a little off topic, because I know you're a Star Wars fan, Roy. Are you a Star Wars fan, Monica?
I am, actually.
Did y'all heard about that whole Gina Carano thing?
I did.
And she got kicked off The Mandalorian, right? Now, justified or overreaction, or what do you think?
Well, at first I was a little shocked because, I mean, I don't know. When I was reading into it, I was like, okay, like, this is what people are tripping about. They're like, there's so many other things that you can trip about. But then again, I'm like, I respect people's opinion, and I just want to keep it at peace. But I mean, it was sad to see her to go, because she was one of my favorite characters. I mean, she's fucking sexy. I can tell you that right now. With that outfit and that tattoo on that face right there, instead of a tear, she had, the little tattoo. Yeah, dude. But
wait, she had a tear in her? A tear
no, she doesn't. No, you know how they have, how people put the little tear?
I'm teasing you.
No. No, but yeah. I mean, it's sad. It was just sad to see her go, because I thought she made it better. But I mean,
interestingly enough, like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Interestingly enough, I haven't even seen like Mandalorian yet, because I just been, and I was planning on watching it this summer.
Why is this not on your podcast, Vivian?
I have no idea. I thought of any of us, Roy would probably be the one with the most knowledge of this, but
here's the thing. Keep in mind, I've been really busy, I'm working on my second master's at this point. So I just got done with my first master's in January. And then I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, let me look up this information for a second master's for whatever reason. And next thing I know, I'm working on the second one. And not too long after my first one. So I'm like, so I haven't really had the time to dedicate to a show like Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, this summer was going to be my go-to. I'm going to dedicate to watching Mandalorian, because I do definitely want to watch it. However, excuse me, I had a couple drinks in me, the hiccups. So, but with that stated, I did look a little bit into the whole Gina Carano thing, and I'm like, I'm sorry, at this point, you have to understand, like, especially when you're dealing with a company like Disney, you know what you're doing, but you're like, if you're that secure where you're thinking, they're not gonna fire me. No, this is Disney. They will fire you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go ahead and just start tweeting off, all these borderline offenses. And like Monica stated, yeah, there are bigger things, but at the same time, in this all-inclusive age, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. However, in this age of all inclusiveness, and you cannot really, and you should, in my opinion, you should not really be saying anything borderline racist. That's just the way I see things, you know? I mean, yeah, I get it if you're like in your 20s and you're a knucklehead.
Right.
But she's past her 20s. She should be past that knuckleheaded stage, especially as a celebrity. She should have had a couple of agents tell her, yo, you should not be doing this. And maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. But at this point, she should know better. And if she doesn't, well, guess what? There are consequences for our actions. And that's the thing I honestly believe in, is just consequences for any of our actions.
Right. I think she's just an idiot. Like,
yeah.
I mean, was she good in The Mandalorian? Yeah, you know, but let's be honest, you know, before this, nobody was, you know, throwing her name out there as one of the greatest actresses ever, right? Yeah. She scored by getting onto The Mandalorian, and on top of that, they were going to give her own fucking show, right? Her own spinoff. And so what this woman did was she ruined her career completely, right? Why? Who knows? You know, she wanted to play the whole rebel when she's damn near 40. I think she might be past 40. I don't know. Yeah. But she wanted 35. To play. Oh, well, really?
Yeah, I think so.
How old is she going to start, more or less?
35?
Okay, even still, in your mid-30s, you got to start growing up. I did.
Right. Did you really, right? Did you?
No, believe me. Actually, believe me. If you only knew. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Right, but I mean, she, you know, she's you know on the deeper end of 30s, right? And you know, she wasn't a great actress before. We were going to give her her own show. They warned her, hey, quit the political shit, quit the you know pseudo racist shit. I mean, you know, I have my own thoughts on the whole trans this and that. You know, I'm not going to state them here, but we could talk about that privately. But, you know, they told her, you know, put your pronouns or whatever on your Twitter, right? And she defiantly went and put like something like to mock that, you know, she put like beep, bop, boop or whatever. Not the best choice, you know. If my company said, hey, put your pronouns in your email signature, is it a big deal for me? Even if I don't, you know, agree with it, I mean, I just got to do it, you know? So if the company that's, you know, signing your checks is telling you to do it, you just do it. And then I think the cherry on top of it all was that, you know, she went and essentially, you know, compared her case as a Republican or whatever she's trying to be, essentially, you know, compared herself to being a, you know, Anne Frank in the Holocaust, you know? And so that is the dumbest comparison that you can make, especially when who runs the entertainment world?
Disney, of course.
I mean, besides that, right?
But the media, the whole media, dude.
And you know, I don't think it's any news to anybody, but Jewish people are very prominent in the entertainment industry, right? You're gonna compare your situation to being in the Holocaust. Is stupid. And Roy has brought on another guest right now. Who got
sorry. That, Roy? This is my dog Crypto. Yeah, he was feeling a little bit left out, so he came over here to say hi, and he also wanted to say hi to Fabian and Monica, because he heard such great things about you. Because whenever I listen to the podcast, I always listen over through my Google Home, and he listens to you guys, and he actually liked that podcast episode with the astrological signs with Monica. There, he kept on asking like, "Hey, huh?
What's his sign?"
Oh, his sign. He was born. I want to say November.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. Whatever's November.
This works for dogs too.
No, I was just kidding.
Okay. I don't know. I was just saying. I know he was born somewhere in November. So whatever that sign is, I don't know what sign is in November.
Either Scorpio or Sagittarius.
There you go.
The Scorpios, the horny ones. Yeah.
That's definitely him, because I took him to the park once. I had to take him out right away. I'm not joking. He barely met one female dog, and he was already starting to get on there. And I was like, okay, we're out. And
even Roy's dog has game. What's up with that?
Damn.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Every time I take him to the dog park, I try to take some notes. Like, wait a minute, how does he do this? You know.
And so next time Roy goes out to a bar, you know what he's gonna do, right? First thing, first leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and see a girl. I'm gonna stake claim to her. I'm gonna call dibs on her. It's like nobody else comes near her.
He's like, oh, not her. This is my property now. Move away.
He's gonna become Red Roy for anybody that walks by. What about, real quickly before we move on to this next little topic I want to jump into, and this is for Monica. Do you think? Do you know anything about the Chinese zodiac?
I read on. I remember you brought that up last time that you had told me. But I did read on it. So I don't know if I'm trying to remember what it was exactly, but they said that the reason why they go with the zodiac signs of the animals for each year was because before Buddha had passed away, those were the animals that visited him before his soul left the planet. They said that it first started off with, I think, the rat and then the boar. What year are we in right now? The ox?
Ox.
I think it's the ox.
Okay.
Ox.
Yeah, so it's like a story behind it. I just didn't really follow upon. I didn't read on, to be honest.
The reason I bring it up is because I learned this on the TV show Fresh Off the Boat, and I read up on it, and it's apparently true from what people say. But that if you repeat your year, it's your bad luck year, and so whoever's year of the ox right now, if they're experiencing any kind of hardship or whatever. It's because it's your bad luck year. And so I was looking at people on Instagram and you see people all the time like, oh, I had a bad day this, I had a bad day that. And if it repeats themselves, I'm thinking like, are they, what year were they born in? Are they year of the ox right now? My older brother was born in the year of the ox, so I'm going to really look for him to have some bad luck. But then next year is the year of the tiger, so I'm going to be having bad luck.
Okay, so if I interject, all this talk just got me thinking, wait a minute, what is my animal? I don't like the fact that you're saying that it's going to be my bad year, because I'm looking right now and this is going to be my year, the year of the ox.
Oh, you're an ox?
Apparently I'm an ox. I just remember when I was a kid.
Bad luck year.
I guess so, because I just remember when I was a kid, right? I was hoping for a tiger or something awesome like that, right? And I was like, an ox? Why an ox?
Last year, what year was it? Last year, the rat?
I don't know, dog.
Don't know.
My daughter was born on the rooster year, and I was born on the monkey year.
And I wanted a monkey. Sorry, go ahead.
So, Roy, we got to take care of you, man. That's not good.
I know. Hey, you know what? Tell you what, both of you can come out here. You can live in spare bedrooms rent free. You can even do your podcast from one of the spare bedrooms. And
there you go, Fabian.
Just look at and just like what you call it, look after me and make sure that that it's not a bad luck year there.
I'm for it.
And the best part is, I got enough room in the backyard for like the biggest smoker you want, and we can have the barbecue house parties.
There you go. I'll sell barbecue for a living.
There you go. And because of the fact that we're gonna have the barbecue house parties, we can be super spreaders.
Now, what kind of spreaders are you talking about? Because
the Coronas.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about spreading seed or something, or spreading leg or
okay. I was just
going a different way. Let me just tell you that right now.
Never mind. I think I need to work on my humor.
No, I just picked up on it. This is a type of this is why we shouldn't be allowed to drink together. I remember Roy and I used to have these stupid conversations all the time.
Oh yeah.
work together at the school. Moving on though, I did want to bring something up because it's kind of topical to something I just experienced, but also Monica, you asked on social media, and I know Roy's probably got a story or two about this, but catfishing, right?
Oh, my favorite.
You asked about it on social media, right? And if anybody has ever been catfished, I think I gave you. This story sucked. I'm not going to repeat that, but I have a new one. But you did you get any other stories on there?
I did actually. So it's so funny because I probably had about 15 to 25 stories.
Wow.
because there were a lot of people were telling me that because it was, I think, if someone, like, the first question was, have you ever catfished someone? And I think it was like 79% was no, and then the rest was yes. So I was looking at the yes, and I'm like, shame on you people. You guys should not ever be catfishing anyone. But obviously I wasn't gonna put them on blast, so I left it as it is. And then supposedly, I don't know, and I'm like, you guys are fucking liars. There was about, the second question was, have you ever been catfished online? And I think I'm trying to remember exactly. I think 60 said no, and the rest said yes. So one story, which I was like, what? Like, how can you not, like, okay, so there's some girl that I went to high school with. She said that she had gotten catfish by this girl that was apparently like trying to hook up with her friend, whatever, right? So she's like, yeah, she was like this really cool emo girl. I grew up in the emo scene because that's how young I am. So she was telling me that I guess apparently they found out that it wasn't the girl, that it was like no, actually she was pretending to be a boy, and ends up that it was a girl behind the screen, and that this girl still went ahead and had a relationship with her online. And she almost got kicked out of the house because her mom found out that she was dating a girl online. And I'm like, how old were you again? And she goes, oh, I was like 15, 16 years old. I'm like, wow. There's another story too, which I found really interesting. So a really close homie of mine told me that he actually had gotten catfished. That some girl was sending him pictures of her titties and like this and that. So when he, I guess, was like, let's video chat, he's like, she looked nothing compared to what she was sending me. And he goes, and she didn't even have titties. So I'm like, where the fuck did she get those titties from? I'm just curious, like, because I need some, and I just hook up a homegirl, but yeah, a lot of people were telling me that they have been catfish. There's been another story where one of them was like, she knew that this guy wasn't real, like it wasn't the person on the pictures, but she still went ahead and met this person. And like, she was like, well, I wanted to give him a chance, but then I realized that he's just been lying about everything. And I'm like, why would you even meet the person in the place? Like, wouldn't you, like, aren't you afraid or scared? But then again, you gotta remember, this is my generation that's coming up. I mean, half of us are stupid, so.
Well, more than half. But Roy, did you have any stories related to that?
So actually, well, at the risk of just repeating, I can just summarize one of my stories from before. I'm not sure if I mentioned this one.
The 6-footer, or no, or the big one?
Interestingly enough, they were both big, but one was bigger from the start, but just never mentioned it, and the other one was using 5-year-old pictures. However, if I may, I do have like an incredible catfish story that happened to a friend of mine many moons ago. That this was actually pretty funny. So
don't lie, Roy. It's your story, right?
No, not even, because like I would say if it was mine. So where can I say this? Because how can I say this as succinctly as possible? Because here's the deal. She and I, we went on a few dates, and I thought it was going somewhere, but it didn't happen. So I was like, all right, but we still end up being friends, right? So a couple months later, she winds up telling me like, oh, hey, guess what? I met the guy of my dreams. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. And then inside I was like, wow, okay, then, we just went on a few dates like not even 3 months ago, but whatever. But whatever, so the point is that but then she starts telling me, yeah, we're talking about getting married. And I was like, wow, how'd you meet him? Oh, online, but he's in Texas. I was like, what? And at that moment I realized, I just think I just dodged a bullet, because at this point, anyone that really feels they can fall in love to that degree with someone in a whole other state, where they haven't really even met. And that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I just like, yeah, I think they have a whole nother set of issues going on. But that's a whole nother story. The point is this: it gets to the point where where they're meeting, right?
Mhm.
He flies out here, and but he had sent her a picture, and they have been talking over the phone for hours on end, right? And he would say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rent a room," and she was telling me all this stuff, right? Like how he's gonna go ahead and rent a room, and and they can go to Disneyland and go to here and go to there. All this nonsense that they had planned out for about a week.
Mhm.
So she starts telling me like, and at this point she was in tears when she was telling me this over the phone. He lied to me. That's all I heard was like, what are you talking about? He lied. What are you talking about? He's tall, but he's like 6'2" and like 350 pounds. I was like, what? He was like a big old bear, wasn't he? Like, yeah. I was like, so what the heck? What did you tell him? Like, what happened? At this point, I had to ask because like this time my metichiness just got in there,
Also, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. At some point, you're gonna want to know the backstory here, because like when you find out that the person you've been talking to, that you thought you're gonna marry, that you found the love of your life,
Mhm.
it turns out that it not only is not them, but they're like a big old burly bear looking fool.
Wait, what you got against us, Roy?
No, hey, last I checked, are you catfishing anyone?
No.
He is.
Okay,
He told me he was.
I guess.
Why are you lying, Fabian? Remember those pictures that you sent me? You were catfishing me.
Wait, did he tell you that he looks just like William Levy?
No. I don't know who that is, but
that's the only guy I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, only because he came out many years ago on Dancing with the Stars, and all my female friends on social media were flipping out over William Levy.
No.
Was this William telling you sweet nothings, Roy?
No, not me, but he was telling sweet nothings to all my friends in their heads. But that's a whole nother. So, going back to my friend, right? So she was just telling me that. Well, here's where it goes off the rails. So apparently, this guy just says, "Well, I was hoping that once you saw me, that you looked past my looks and just looked at our conversations, and still love me for who I was." And she said, "I could have forgiven that, except for one thing. This fool was asking if he could just talk to my parents and if I could crash at my house."
Oh,
wow!
He never even booked a room. He spent all his money on the airplane, and to top things off, when she's like, "No, I can't have you stay over at my house. I live with my parents. I told you that." He bawled like a little B word and called his mom, and his mom was calling up her mom and her saying, "Please, he's a good boy. Please let him stay." I was like, wait, what? So she had to pay for his hotel room. She still took him to Disneyland, but with her sister.
Oh, yeah, man.
And this is after her old school Mexican mom smacked her a couple of times for esto es lo que te toma por siendo pendeja por hiriendo, blah, 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 blah. Boom. Y para la próxima. Boom.
Pendeja,
so
boom.
Right? Exactly.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So then like she starts telling me like, yeah, so unfortunately she had to pay all this money for him. And he still had the audacity and the gall before he got on the plane to give her to go. Okay, she wanted to try and go for the hug and the kiss. And yeah, in his own mind, he was thinking, I might still have a chance.
God damn.
That's because that's a Pisces. That's how Pisces think. They go in for that kiss. No, I'm just kidding, Roy.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think that can be topped, but I do have a very current breaking news kind of catfishing thing going on. And I don't think it's just me, but I think it's a bunch of dudes that went to my high school. It's so weird. You know, I told Monica because you know she's likely a catfish, so I'm like, hey, give me your advice.
Oh yeah, Vivian. Yes, you know me a catfish.
Oh wait. Are you the one that posting pictures of Sofia Vergara as yourself?
Sometimes, yeah,
Oh,
sometimes.
sometimes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes. At least I admit to those, you know.
Oh, okay then.
It's really weird, right? It's like 2 a.m. and I get like a weird ad on Facebook, like, you know, I'm like, okay, whatever. I seems to know the same people that I know, right? And so I'm like, accept, right? And then I get like a thumbs up message, you know, like the little thumbs up thing. I'm like, huh, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll just reply like, hey, I think you know, you messaged me by mistake, haha, you know, kind of like um
But secretly you were thinking like, oh, she's hot. Yes. Hopefully it wasn't a mistake.
no, because it wasn't like a picture on the profile, you know, it was just like
Oh.
Oh, Hello Kitty.
yeah.
I looked her up because I was like, who is this person?
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, whatever, just, you know, say something stupid. And then I get like a little fucking like a lipstick kissy face thing emoji sent back. I'm like, the hell? So I put like a little Michael Scott like GIF, like you know, something funny. And then all of a sudden get like pictures of this chick in her bra and stuff. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I'm like, dude, am I being like pranked or catfished or something like that, you know? And I'm, you know, because I'm not dumb, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just start making noise. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna get as much info as I can out of this, and you know, probably just talk about it on the podcast just like I'm doing now, you know. And yeah, it was just so weird because then any little thing I said, it just turned into like something like sexual and stuff like that. It was like, you know, like, oh, you know, what do you know, I'm like, do I know you kind of thing, you know, like, you know, it turns out we supposedly went to the same high school and whatnot. And I said, oh, you know, I was a musician. And she, oh, can I be your groupie? And then here come more nude stuff and like videos and stuff. I'm like, well, at least I'm getting a free show, but I'm like, kind of weird. It's kind of creepy, you know, because like, okay, you like Monica, you as a girl, you're not immediately acting that way, even if you are attracted to a dude, right?
Of course not.
I mean, that takes at least you know, 45 minutes, right?
No, I mean, and I told Fabian, I was like, it's a girl, it's a guy, because you can see the Adam's apple in the picture. So I was like, it's a dude.
Well, I mean, I don't know about, I didn't get that
Hold
far.
that thought really quickly. You remind me to tell you a funny story about an Adam's apple on a supposed chick afterwards.
Uh-oh.
It's a funny one, but I just remind me to tell you about that one.
All right, we'll get right on that one. Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was. Maybe it was just a very manly chick or something. But all the other parts were there. I mean, right, Monica, you were.
I saw everything. I saw everything.
Yeah, so all the other parts were there. But it was so weird. Because after like one day, you know, and me kind of connecting the dots, like I just kind of started getting like the you know, like oh, we saw your message and ignore kind of thing, or it was like, you know, answer back every 3 hours, right? And I started noticing like some of the other dudes on there. I'm like, hey, and I asked, I didn't tell you this part yet, Monica, but I asked like, you know, 4 other dudes. I'm like, who is this broad? Like, you know, I'm like, nobody just goes from like 0 to 100 like that, you know? Especially, you know, I'm not giving myself any credit here. I'm not some fucking, you know, some Adonis right now, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so who is this? What do they want kind of thing, you know? And nobody that I talked to had heard of her, you know, and supposedly she went to our high school. It's like, how's nobody ever heard of her? You know what? Everybody knew everybody's business there. So yeah, now the profile is like deleted. And it's kind of weird, you know, because it's just like, why is this person going around? Maybe it's like a marketing thing. Who knows, right? Because I think, you know, marketing companies have been known to do that, like to randomly friend people and use real people's pictures and whatnot. And I don't know, but it's really kind of a creepy thing. And I hope to see what comes of that, if anything, you know. Maybe somebody actually bit the bullet and met this person, and that would be a story to tell. I might just get all the dudes that were in that involved in that and get them on a Zoom call and say, hey, did anybody follow through with that? And see where it went. But yeah, Monica thinks it's a dude. What do you think, Roy?
I think it's a dude. And really quick tidbit on that.
It's Roy. I quoted Roy. Mm-hmm. See, he's gonna confess right now.
No. So long and short of it, many moons ago, right? I used to play this online game, right? And so, and this is in my gamer years. And so, within that group, there was this one woman that, guessing trans at the time, whatever, right? That was a dude. You could tell by the way she talked that, dude, right? Mm-hmm. We all knew, but we didn't do anything because it was really cool, really chill. So why bust chops, right? But this one fool did not know that was a dude. Mm-hmm. So we busted his chops to no end because he actually went and bought a plane ticket to go meet this dude. No. And as far as I know, to this day, is denying vehemently of what may or may not happen on how he may or may not have found out.
That's so bad. That's so
but bad. Really quickly, let me tell you the quick funny story about the whole Adam's apple thing, right? If you know. So way back when, right? I was driving with my friend in Hollywood, right? And we were just coming back from like a movie or whatever. I can't remember what we were doing. We were just daylight, whatever. We were just driving, right? And so all I'm seeing was this chick passing by with a huge rack. And I'm just enthralled by the huge rack. I'm like, oh, wow. That's all I said was like, oh, wow. And then my friend, who's female, just tells me like, look up. What do you mean? Why do I got to look up? Trust me, look up. I look up and I was like, oh, crap. They go Adam's apple. And at that time, I had to remember, wait, women have heads. Always look up. Keep in mind, I was like about 23, 24 at the time. So hopefully I get a little bit of leeway on that one.
I think you get a pass, Roy. It's just because, I mean, where you're at as far as standing up, your head just goes straight there. So,
but I was driving, so I was in my car. So, and this person was crossing the street.
So what can you do?
But exactly.
Yeah, this, the reason I brought that up, I think, kind of correlates into the whole, what we were talking about before is the whole singles panel thing, and it kind of bugs me that people just kind of prey on people's emotions like that or hopes or whatever, because some people could be very desperate,
True.
And it's kind of, it's dangerous to do that. You can really kind of trigger somebody or you never know, things like this have led to violence or more.
Me, I like to try and have some fun with it because I've had similar experiences, right? Where random people just, supposedly women, right? Tell me, hey, blah, blah. So I just have some fun with it, Like, for example, one in particular, I was just like, okay, so she just kept on saying blah, 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 or he, whatever the case may be, right? So I just got to the point where I was just like, okay, look, I just need to know, is this a scam? Or is this my then girlfriend's attempt at trying to see if they could catch me in a lie or a trap or whatever the case may be, right? But if this is a scam, please tell me, keep going, because I'm curious of what the end game is.
Yeah.
And but I didn't get any reply after that. I was like, man, because sometimes when it's a scam, I'm very curious as how this is going to work out in being a scam. Like, how are you going to go ahead and successfully try and take money from me?
I don't think you clarified, Monica. Were you ever catfished yourself?
You know what? No. And I'll tell you why. Because I started watching Catfish, the TV show. So I was like, ain't nobody playing with me. I mean, I've had like random guys. I don't know whether I'm pretty sure it's a female behind that screen because it's like they try to add me, right? But their whole profile is like everything that I like, and I'm like, yeah, that's gotta be a woman that knows what I like, and she's just trying to like snoop my stuff. Because I do have someone that felt like they're really, I'm not gonna say obsessed, but there's like some beef between us. So she tries to like catch me slipping, or she tries to catch me doing something to like make a big deal out of it, or just to talk bad about me, pretty much. So she tries to pretend like she's these guys and tries to hit on me to prove to like people that, you know, oh, this is the type of person she is, you know. So no, I haven't made catfish. Thankfully. I mean, I'm glad I have not. But then again, I don't really like to have a online date, because it's like, what am I gonna fucking do with them online? I'm just gonna be staring at them and be like, oh hi, how are you? You know? Because I hear that a lot. I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, I've done online dating, and it's like, how do you do that? You know, like you guys talk about, like, isn't it random that you guys are just sitting at each other's, like, you know, you guys are by computer? Like, I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's just not for me. I like to meet people in person. I like to have those actual conversations with them, like face to face. I don't.
Does that mean I don't have a shot then now? Because
No,
we haven't met in person.
Unless I go to Vegas and then I bump into you, then I'll be like, "Oh, aren't you Roy? Okay, cool, bye. See you later."
Okay, so as long as I see, all I'm hearing is that I still have a chance.
Yeah, you got a chance. You got a chance. Vivian has seen some things, and Vivian's like, "Good job, Monica." Right?
Yeah, we will discuss those things. Yeah. But I can see why you were the winner of our who got some award. So yeah. Maybe next time we're on the podcast, you know, Roy, you'll have a little story for us. But maybe that's our next mission.
All right.
I will be coming to Vegas soon, so just FYI, letting you know.
Well, you know what? Just let me know, and I'll be tour guide if you'd like me to.
Well, I have my cousin. I've been to Vegas. I actually been on the TV on Vegas. You know,
really?
I'm surprised you never caught that. You never recognized my face.
You know what? It's because I keep in mind I have been busy over the last couple of years with so much work in school, so I haven't really watched much TV.
I was on TV 2 years ago. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
but it wasn't a famous thing. It was a tragic story that I had to deal with. So.
That's funny. Oh, speaking of dating, and do you remember that old TV show on Spanish called not Secretos? After Segunda Citas or Primera Cita, whatever the heck it was called. It was Cheaters, but in Spanish. What was it called?
We'll just call it Cheaters in Spanish, man.
Yeah, there's a name to it. There's an actual,
there is.
There's like it's like a funny, stupid name. Damn, I just remember 12 corazones, because those are the one that you will get with the zodiac sign and like pair you up with. Like who's matchable, you know? Oh, dude, I used to remember seeing those shows when I was a kid. I was like,
so I had an opportunity to get on that show.
And what happened?
Well, here's the deal. So they needed someone for the following day. So I was like, yo, can we make it, the following, not the next day, but the following day? Because like, I can't, because they called me at 1 p.m. And I was like, I can't just take off from work, you know, because I'll keep in mind, believe it or not, at the end of the day, I'm still super responsible when it comes to work. I have a strong work ethic, believe it or not. So I did not feel justifiable to tell my manager, I was like, hey, listen, can I take off tomorrow around 2 p.m.? Hey, can I take off tomorrow to be on this Spanish dating TV show? At 1 p.m. And I just cannot justify it. So I asked them and they were like, no, sorry, blah, blah. I was on the phone with the producer. I was like, okay, never mind, and blah, blah, blah. But in my mind, I already knew what I was going to say. Because here's what I was going to say. I already had, if I was the one being cheated on, or the one that I was going to cheating on, or if I was going to do the cheating with that, right? I already had a phrase that I was going to come out and just going to go, just have it off the hook and off the wall. You know, and I'm not going to repeat it because I can't, I just don't have it in me to say it anymore. But let's just
all that suspense, Roy.
Okay,
I know, right? I'm over here like, say it.
Okay, fine.
Listen, if it's that bad, I have the ability to edit, but I don't.
It's not that it's bad. It's just a fact. Okay, here's the deal. I was going to say something in Spanish if I was the one being cheated on, right? I was gonna say, I'll say it first in Spanish and I'll translate it. ¿Te fuiste con eso porque no puedes aguantar mis 12 pulgadas? So to say it in English, wait, you went with that fool just because you couldn't handle my 12 inches? If I was being cheated on, right? Now, if I was doing the cheating, I would be like, ella me pudo aguantar, tú no. She could handle me, you couldn't. So you get the theme here of what I was going to yell out.
Oh my God.
I figure if we don't go on there, no pun intended, go big or go home, just have some fun with it, you know?
For sound effect, we're going to constantly be slapping your arm against your leg. So it sounds like, you know.
Kind of like that movie Kids. Look what I can do.
But here's my question though.
Yes.
Ever since, did you ask him if he's been dating someone or if he's had it?
No, that's where I was going. Go ahead.
So have you dated someone from the time that you were on the single panel to now?
So
I'm just so curious. I mean, I like to be chismosa.
So yeah, okay. So I did go out. So I did go out on a date with someone, right? And let's just say that over the course of the date, like she realized, oh, she can do so much better than me, and it just decimated me. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this for a while. That's all, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, that's unfortunate, Roy.
Yeah.
You know, I think, I mean, if I'm thinking back, at least one person from the singles panel has moved on to non-single life. I believe that was Grace.
Oh.
We had 5 people on, right? I haven't heard from Val as far as that. You two are on here. And then we had Diane, and I don't think she's moved on either, but we have a pretty low rate, guys.
I see. I would have. Okay, so here's my story. I was seeing someone, right? Like after like the whole panel, I dumped someone right after the panel, so I was like, nope, sorry, on to the next. So I was seeing someone, but I was having a lot of issues because he had heard the podcast, the episode of the single panel. And let me tell you, dude, he was super like, he would throw stuff at me in my face. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, you gotta let it go. Like, that's for the past. Like, don't worry. Like, I'm giving you all my attention. Like, don't worry about it. But it got to the point where I just couldn't be with him anymore because he was very self-conscious about certain stuff. And he would tell me, like, am I not good enough for you? And it's like, no, it's just that I'm busy. Like, I have things to do. You know, I'm a mom. But I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm giving up on fucking dating at this point because it's just so much. Like, I don't have time to baby someone. You know, it's like, I can't put you in my stroller with my kid and push you along as well because it doesn't work like that. So I did dump the guy. And then I got laid after that because Pippi knows the story.
I will not repeat the story, but
yeah. So I dumped that guy too, and I was like, you know what, peace, see you later, because I don't have like time to be dealing with people. I just really don't like, and I think that's my mistake, that I get fed up with people sometimes, and I just like, okay, whatever, I'm on to the next, you know, which is. It's totally bad because it's like, I guess I'm very picky with my men.
If I may, really quickly, nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to say, if you don't mind me saying, don't mean to interrupt, but there's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, here's the deal, if I may. You got to know, okay, you just got to feel a vibe there that is this cool or not? And if it's not, then just move on. That's just the way I see it.
And it's so funny because recently, there's someone that came back to my life, and I'm like, don't make me go there, you know? Right. But then I'm trying to put that shield up, and I'm like, nope. That's
almost always a fail, right?
What happened?
That type of situation is almost always a fail, right?
I
would say yes.
Well, no, because yes and no, but this person and I, we've had a history for a very long time. So we know each other over 9 years. And, you know, him stepping back into my life, I feel like maybe I'm not getting my hopes up either because I'm just like, well, let's just be friends, because I honestly like at this point I'm over dating and I lost hope because I feel like every guy that I meet just wants one thing and then it's like, okay, I don't know what are you doing? Like at least make that small talk to make me understand that you're at least trying to be my friend at some point, just don't go and jump onto one thing because I know someone. I'm not gonna mention names, but this person was very like they know what they wanted at the same time, but I felt like I just wasn't the person they probably needed, and like I told my friend, because he was a friend of mine, and I had to cut him off because we're still friends. I still talk to him, but I was just like, I don't think it's best for us to even like start anything because at this point I feel like I'm gonna lose my friendship instead, and then I'd rather just be friends with you and not lose you, because I've known you for so many years. But yeah, I try at this point. I don't even try to rekindle with anyone because it's just like I don't know. You left for a reason. I don't even know why you're back. Oh no! What happened?
Is he there?
No. What happened, Vivian?
My computer just completely reset on me, so I had to get on the phone.
Oh no!
You know what, guys? I am sorry. I think this is my fault. Seeing as how this is like the year of the ox, and this is my second time, and I'm bringing the bad luck.
We all know Roy's drunk at this point.
Yes, I am.
I was just about to say something to Roy when you were gone, Vivian. But then when I saw
go away, Vivian. Hold on.
Oh no.
Go away for a moment. I want to know once
I saw Vivian coming back, I was like, you know what, Monica, just shut up. Don't say anything.
Okay, just for the record, you can find me through his Facebook profile.
I'm not on Facebook though.
Oh well.
I don't do Facebook because I have too much family members on there, and I don't like to respond to anyone on there. Like, can you just leave me alone? There's a reason why I don't respond to you.
That was the first time that's ever happened. That's crazy.
That's we're going through Mercury retrograde. It's about to be over tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So it's Mercury is the planet of communication. That's probably what's going on with your computer.
And if I remember correctly, and keep in mind, I've been drinking from your podcast episode. Retrograde means that you're going back and regrading something, right?
Mm-hmm. You're reflecting.
You're reflecting. I knew it was a read something.
Wow! Look at Roy over here trying to get points.
What can I say?
I guess is it working though? Is he now at 1 point?
He's at 2 points actually because he impressed me with something earlier, but I'm not gonna say what it was.
It's like if you get five hole punches at the Subway, you get a free sandwich.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I get 5 points, does that mean that I at least get what do you call it? Like some kind of like, hey, I'm in town. Maybe next time we can meet.
Yeah. If you get 5 points, that's one picture.
Oh, okay.
Roy's over here trying to do God's work right now. He's like, what can I do? He's gonna go look up birth charts and shit.
Oh yes, I am.
He's gonna be like, I'm into astrology now. Okay, hi, how are you?
Wait, no. Roy, she likes crystals.
Crystals, okay. Wait, she likes crystal? Oh, I met her a couple of weeks ago at the one strip bar that's still open.
That actually brought your points down, I believe.
Darn.
All right, man. You're back to 1 point, man.
Oh, well, at least I still got a point, though.
Yeah, that just gets you one ass cheek, right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's that one turn look. That's what it is. That one turn.
But yeah, I mean, this. I like to have the recurring guests like we do like this. I think if you guys have noticed to the. Every 10th episode, I have, my friends with the shit show, and I'm thinking, we kind of just built something here because you all have been on. This is their 4th time for each of you. And you know, I don't think we got to get around to paranormal stories, but this is a pretty cool little setup that we can do every now and then. We can do kind of like, you know, jump on and do the whole, you know, single panel / you know, relationship talk on the podcast. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll tell you one thing though, if I may, just my one of my paranormal, right?
Go ahead.
So this is because this was kind of funny because shortly after I wound up moving into my apartment way many years ago, right out in LA. So I put up a calendar up in my living room, and I noticed that for whatever reason it fell off for the you know, around the same time more or less, whatever, you know, it fell off the wall a couple of times. So I was like, okay, so I put two double tapes and I put a push pin. Mm-hmm. Third day, still fell off. I was like, what the what? At this point, I was like, wait a minute. I had a push pin and doubled up on the tape. So I put up 3 push pins and I doubled up on the tape. And the fourth day, same fourth and fifth day, same thing. Around the same time, boom, boom, boom. I was like, wait a minute. Like, and it seemed like the push pins were pulled off. I was like, whoa, what is going on here? And then I started hearing crazy noises. Like, and I was like, I know I'm not going crazy because I'm still about a good 30 years away from dementia at this point. You know? So I got to the point that I still remember when I was a kid, I read this book because I was always a little bit into the whole paranormal thing, right? Mm-hmm. I read this book that it said, if you ever run into a ghost, just ask, what do you want? Mm-hmm. And it'll either tell you or go away. However, one caveat with it is, if it want, you may not always like the way they tell you, but that's a whole nother story. Huh. But one morning when I was leaving my home, I asked, okay, if you're a ghost, what exactly do you want? And also, if you're a ghost and you're here, please tell me you're a ghost of someone that looks like Sofia Vergara. And I'm not lying, I did say this. Now, interesting enough, I didn't have any kind of paranormal activity for about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 months. But one night I was in bed, and all of a sudden, like the bed was being shaked, and then my blanket was pulled off, and I felt like someone was pulling on my feet. And I was like, "Whoa, what the what?" So yeah. So I mean, I have a lot more, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, you know, like we'll keep kind of these topics for when I have you two on, and I mean, this is the whole point of the podcast. You know, it's like I don't see myself doing any big Joe Rogan style type shit, but I like having, you know, recurring co-hosts. And I think, like I said, y'all have been on 4 times. You know, we can always pull different topics and I think make it entertaining, you know?
Yeah.
So
we did tonight, just sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, same thing, you know, take a topic and roll with it. But definitely, you know, in the whole adult dating / relationship realm and in the spooky stories, you know, so if y'all two would like to be my experts on that, I would appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Yeah,
right? And especially when you got me, who thinks he's an expert in everything, but like a jack of all trades, but master of none.
Well, I think for I mean, Roy, you talked to me about bringing on a different guest, so you can always you know, co-host that as well. You know,
yeah, and I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow to see if he's interested. Yeah, because tomorrow he's gonna have like a little Zoom meeting about that.
Cool. Yeah, and then you know, when it comes to that, you know, obviously, like I tell everybody, you know, you guys are always welcome to even do other co-hosting stuff. But I think at some point we should look into, like y'all mentioned, putting in that second singles panel for the podcast. Maybe y'all can recruit some people, you know, or something, and we go from there and make that one fun.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, that's good.
I was able to kind of grill the questions on there, but maybe you guys can ask them some of the stuff I forgot, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
But other than that, anything you guys want to throw out there into the podcast world before we cut out?
How How was your reaction towards that last podcast about your fans only?
The OnlyFans one. A lot of people kind of messaged me about it. They're like, beforehand. I think after they listened to it, they're like, oh, okay. It was really, it's a normal person. Trying to make some extra money off of it. And I'm gonna ask you guys your opinion on it real quick too. But it's to me, it's a young, 20-something-year-old girl who's, kind of think of where you were at 20, 23, 24 years old, right? Kind of confused in a lot of things, and but I mean, trying to figure things out, especially in this pandemic and whatnot. But the reactions I got, there weren't anything crazy after the fact, more so beforehand. I think people like the whole anticipation and mystery of something like that. I did get a lot of, votes on the poll for that one, where people said it was either trashy or empowering. So it's definitely a topic that people like to listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These things are intriguing. There's a reason I wanted somebody of that nature on the podcast. People want to listen to stuff like that as much as they might want to say, "Oh no, I'm good. I don't want to listen to that." Yes, you do. Quit bullshitting.
Yeah.
But no, she was real cool. Definitely was willing to share. I mean, I don't think it was anything too crazy, right? If you guys listen back to it.
It wasn't too crazy, except for that one guy in the playground, but that's a whole nother story. Oh, right. And the guy with the whole blood thing, that's a whole nother next level crap.
Right. So there are those creepy things. I mean, maybe in the future I'll interview another one and see if they have any other stories, because somebody's got to have a crazy story there,
Oh yeah. If I may, really quickly, I actually did enjoy that, because I didn't even know that thing existed until you mentioned it on a random Facebook comment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so because I mean, to be quite candid, I don't understand how anybody wouldn't pay for that stuff, and when they can get it for free and blah. But then she did mention, and she made a good point. At the end of the day, it just comes down to communication. That you want to talk to a real person, and I think that's what it is with a lot of people. Because I'm not gonna lie, to some level, I can kind of see the intrigue in that you want to feel connection with someone. You want to go, even if it's fictional. It's fictional, but you just want to go ahead and talk to someone. And I can see that, especially over the past year, where you're supposed to go ahead. And so I can see that. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it, but I can see it.
I actually read an article about that recently. Was it kind of ties into they have one of these type of bars in LA in downtown, but they give you the whole, what they call the GFE, the girlfriend experience, right? They call them like taxi dances or something like that.
I had two friends that did that. Former roommate and a friend that did that.
Okay, so it's like it's not even like a strip club. It's just like a hostess club. Hostess club is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go in there and you pick, who you want to dance with, and they spend time with you and they talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, on the surface, to me, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, it is.
I just don't get it, but some people like to spend their money that way. What can you do?
Because my friend that did it, my friend that did it, she was telling me that she did it for about 3 or 4 months, and she made some decent money. But the only reason she got out of it was because to make the good money was with some of the guys would say, "Hey, listen, why don't you go with me outside of the club and blah blah blah." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason why my first roommate, I had to tell her, "Yeah, you got to go," right? Because she was bringing some of those guys back home. Yeesh. And I was like, "Yeah, this ain't happening."
Especially if you weren't getting none, right, Roy?
Exactly. I had that rule. If I'm not getting none, no one's getting any.
Wait a minute. You lived with a female roommate?
Yes.
There was never any interaction between you both.
Oh no, because that's a whole nother story. But no, I was not going near that one.
All right, we're gonna save that one for the next episode, I suppose, right?
I was just, I mean,
don't get me wrong, she was attractive,
mm-hmm.
but after having a couple good conversations with her, I was like, I am so not going near this one. No. Because she was whole next level stuff.
Kind of like a crazy we met in Vegas, right, Roy?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
See, Monica, you're gonna want to hear that story next time too. We kind of told it on Roy's episode, but we'll recap with you next time
Okay, sounds good.
with some weird behavior in Vegas.
Yeah.
But Roy, anything else you want to throw out there, man, before we close out?
I can't really think of anything other than the fact that I just look forward to the next episode. You know,
He's drunk. He's not even good.
yeah. Right now I just been drinking, so I'm good. You know.
Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Guilty.
All right then. Well, you know, I always enjoy having you guys on. I think
And enjoy being on.
For sure. It's always entertaining, always good conversation. For everybody listening at home, appreciate it. Thank you. Fuck you and good night. Subscribe to the Ignorance is Strength podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Like, follow, and share on Facebook and Instagram at Ignorance is Strength Podcast and on Twitter at The Ignorance Pod.